My name is Austin, and this is Dungeons and Dracon Beams, Megamorphs 3. A shoebill soars through the setting night sky with a compy in its mouth. A compusognathus. Compsognathus in its mouth.
What's he doing, by the way? Is he just laying there like a kitten being carried? I mean, we've had to have been in the air for like half an hour at this point. It's just... I'm good.
Yeah, he's chilling,
bro.
Chilling. He's chilling.
Look how fucking stupid he is.
He's never been up this high. You do hear his stomach rumble a little bit.
His stomach?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he hungry. I am going to name him the Colonel after Colonel Sanders because he's a little chicken.
You're going to eat him later, aren't you?
No.
Oh.
Oh, he's my best friend. I'm taking him back to the future with us. Be my best friend. Yeah, so I'm heading for this blue glow that was in the mountains.
As you fly for a little while, give me another athletics check with your shoebill.
14. Solid.
You're starting to get a little bit tired, but you're powering on. You're starting to approach the mountain as you get tired and you feel like you might need a rest.
Yeah, so let's look around for a like a little pond or a lake or a stream, somewhere there's water, something like that.
Yeah, roll me a perception check.
And if possible, I'd like to find one where there's not a bunch of other shit hanging out. The stork has advantage perception checks that rely on sight. So with a 24...
You notice a perfect pond. You're just about to dive down and, you don't see anybody around it. You're about to dive down and chill by there. And then you notice the Dionicus. But there's a pack of them that are just waiting, like outside the clearing of where the pond is, to pounce on anything that moves in.
All right, well, I swoop back up. I'm not going anywhere near.
And then you see another pond in the distance that is formed from a stream nearby. And the stream heads as far as you can see within the canopy, and you find a place like within 100 feet. You don't see any other creatures around the stream.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and land. And I'm going to put Colonel down.
He hops out. And
then I'm going to start fishing. I'm going to try to get me a big old fish. A big old stork beak.
Roll me a survival?
It's a whiz, so I'm going to roll Zach's survival, and then we add 1 to whatever this is. 6.
This part of the stream is kind of too shallow, but there's deeper parts you could go look around, but you don't see any right here.
Okay. Then I'll just start moving towards a deeper spot. If the Colonel doesn't follow me, I'm going to nudge him along. I'm fully trying to tame this dinosaur. Like, I want you to know. This is my pet now.
I'll say roll another animal handling check, and you don't have to have disadvantage because he's been riding in your beak for about...
What's up? Hell yeah, I'll take a 20, dog. I'm rolling so good on this. You have to let me have a pet dinosaur, Austin. You have to. He
sees you, like... looking through the water and like you're hunting, and he kind of comes up beside you and watches, and then as you like beckon him as you move down further downstream, he moves with you.
Like I take a couple steps and he doesn't move, so I just use my big beak and I push him the same direction and I keep moving and he follows. I like it.
You get to like another part of the stream that's wider and deeper, and you do see fish kind of swimming down. Yeah, give me another survival roll.
It's a 9.
You shoot down for one and you think you have it in your sights, and it just swims too fast for you to grab. Colonel Sanders looks at you and kind of cocks his head.
Like he's not impressed. Yeah. Damn. All right, I'm going to find me another fish and try again. Why am I doing so bad? I'm just trying to eat. 11.
Another one comes past and you shoot down. You got this one's tail and you manage to pull it out. It's flopping around and you see like these teeth on its bottom jaw kind of shoot up, and they're sharp. And then you look closer and you see there's ones on the top too that shoot down and kind of wobble, wiggle, waggle. If you want to roll a survival check real quick to identify this fish, or nature,
sure,
or history.
13 survival.
Has Zach and his dad ever went fishing or anything like that?
I would imagine that Steve is probably the kind that did like crack a beer and watch a fishing show on the weekend.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And Zach has probably existed in the same room as that more than once. You know what I'm saying? Not with a lot of interest, but like he's probably noticed some shit going on.
I'll say you remember back to a time when your dad kind of pointed out one of these fish that was on the screen, and he was like, "God damn, why are they catching these kind of fish in a sealed tank for a competition? All those teeth, a gar? You have a gar for a competition?" Like that kind of memory plays in your head as you see this fish that looks similar to the gar that you saw on the screen that day, except it's so much bigger.
Yeah. Okay. Can I crack its spine with my beak?
It's not that big that you can't. So yes, it's still like a fish-sized fish. It's just instead of it being, a foot, it's like 4 feet or something like that.
Damn, that bitch huge. All right, well, I'm gonna kill it, and then toss it up on the shore for Colonel.
You see, he immediately just up in the air onto it and just starts. And he like looks up in the air and just starts letting out like these calls, like. And he goes back to eat it.
When he does that, I'm gonna machine gun clack at him.
He jumps.
Big shoe bill beak.
Like 3 feet in the air, jumps back when you do that, and like looks at you.
Okay, and then I'm gonna go back to fishing.
Roll another survival check as you go.
I'm only gonna do that when he's not calling his buddies. All right, that's a 3. I ain't do good.
You dunk your head in, you grab this fish, and it's battling with you, and like while your head's underwater, you notice starting to float up from the bottom is a snout, a scaly nose that kind of rounds out at the top.
Good, time to leave. Time to go. I get out of the water and I grab Colonel.
This time he is gonna resist, so it'll be a grapple check, athletics or acrobatics, because that noise scared him.
18.
Yeah, you managed to scoop it up into your beak, but he is flailing in here.
If I can, like, I'm also gonna rip off a big piece of fish flesh.
Now that you have him in your mouth, you would have to put him back down to do that.
Let him go. Yeah. God damn it! This was hard won. This fish. Did he get any like a good amount of food in him?
He started to eat, and then when he called out, so he don't need a whole lot, but
I mean, my plan was to also cook some of this fish up for myself, but not now. Not with a fucking dino croc or whatever the fuck is back in there.
You see the ripples on
time for the dino croc. Jesus. Yeah, time to go. I take off again.
All right, roll an athletics check with disadvantage as he's struggling in your mouth now.
Oh, fine. 7.
You can't. You flap and drop back to the ground as your head is just kind of moving. You can't keep your balance in the air. You jump again, flap. You can't manage to get off the ground, and you see the snout poke up out the water as it starts to come onto the land.
All right. Well, I'm gonna maneuver myself so that the dead fish is between me and this thing, so that hopefully it'll go for that first, and then I'm gonna try to back up into the woods. I'm gonna say stealth.
So that is with the bird.
15.
As it comes up out of the water, you see these massive jaws slam around the fish that you just caught as it pulls it back into the water and you back into the woods.
How far away is that blue light from here?
You traveled about 45-minute flight. You probably have double that left to get there.
If I'm flying. Double that. Right around here, does it look like there's a cave or anything that like a human could shelter in overnight?
Give me a survival roll.
Because those have been going so fucking well so far. Oh, okay, good. A dirty 20.
As you are starting to get to where, these mountains are getting a little higher and you're like around these rocks, you see that there's like some, caverns inside the rocks that you could go in. like some caves.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the Colonel down and start to demorph.
As you finally put him down, he does off.
Why? Why would you do that? Oh, man, my buddy. All right. Which way did he run?
That way. Away from the cave.
Away from the cave. Great. Little douchebag. All right, fine. I'm going to still demorph. I'm not going to make it if I don't. But now I think I'm just going to fly through the night, so I'm not going to worry about the cave. I'm just going to demorph and remorph. I have something that flies faster than this, probably. It's nighttime.
It's going to be in like 20 minutes or something.
Okay, I might as well morph owl. So I'm going to morph into a great horned owl. So I don't have to carry a little buddy anymore. Sad. Why would you do this to me, Austin? You know what? You would have killed him later. So
Probably.
This is better. Probably would have killed him later. Never name him. If you name him, Austin will kill him.
Oh no, is this the dog? Is this like a dog?
This was my dog.
Shit.
And he ran away. So now I'm an owl.
I didn't kill this one. You have to give me that.
No, you didn't. Yeah, he's gonna die. Still. Spoiler alert. All the dinosaurs do, so.
Roll a perception check as you get into the air.
That is with advantage, so 19.
Colonel Sanders watches you as you fly away. You see him.
Oh, do I see him?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. I want to go back for him. I want him. I do want to hang out with him. He's nice. He's good to have. I'm going to go back. It's stupid as hell. I'm going to go back, though.
You see him, like, he had watched you fly up a little bit, and then, like, as you turned back, and just as you saw him, like, looking up, he kind of turned his head and was, like, going the other way, and you kind of come back down, and you see him just kind of walking, looking around.
I land.
As you land, roll another perception check.
Yeah, I do want to, like, make sure I'm not fucking landing somewhere I shouldn't be landing. There's a nat 20.
You actually hear the calls of not the same kind of roar that you heard from that Tyrannosaurus Rex, and not the same little small squeaks that kind of come from this copy. Something in the middle somewhere, guttural, and then you hear just like a clash of like gnarls and growls as you hear a fight in the distance, and then you hear the sounds of eating, something eating something else with your excellent owl hearing.
Is that a long way away?
Not too far.
Not as far as I'd like it to be.
Right. And you also see that Colonel Sanders hears this.
What is he doing?
He's listening for a second as you like land behind him. He doesn't notice you.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm just going to turn back into a human.
He does notice when you start morphing, and he kind of turns around and kind of keeps his guard up.
Hopefully he recognizes me. I'm going to like squat down on my heels, I guess, once I'm fully demorphed, unless something happens. And I'm going to hold my hand out again like I did before, and I'm just going to, this time I'm going to use my voice. I'm going to say, hey man, you okay?
All right. Give me an animal handling check with disadvantage.
With disadvantage, because he hates how I sound.
Because he just scared.
Why am I trying to get this stupid animal? Oh good, a 3. Let's have him roll.
I'm so scared for him. He does, as you extend your hand out, take off.
Ungrateful.
He is. He got a whole meal.
Yeah, he got a whole meal. He good. I just sigh and morph back to owl. And this time I actually leave.
You fly into the sky. Another 45 minutes, you're kind of 45 minutes-ish. You know, you don't really know. But you get closer to this mountain, like the side of this mountain, you kind of see it stretches up to as high as you're flying now. Roll me a stealth check.
Just general purpose information. While I'm going, does it look like the night is safer or more dangerous than the daytime?
Roll survival because you've seen limited of both.
Just a 12.
I'll say as you look around, you see a lot of hunting going on right now.
Sure. Okay. 21.
21.
21.
You see pterodons roosted on this mountain, but they're in their nests resting right now. But yeah, you keep flying.
As I get close to where I think this blue glow is coming from, I am going to start calling out for the group again. Just one by one. It's targeted to just them, if that makes sense. Like, I'm pinging the group chat. So it's not open to everyone in the world. Because I don't want to call attention from any other dinosaurs or whatever, if I can help it.
Yeah, you call out to them, ping as you go. I'll let you know if you hear anything, but at the moment, you do not.
Okay. All right. So just continuing to look for this glow. Do I still see it?
Yeah, it's actually, you can kind of see where it's coming from now. It's like around this mountain is mostly forest. And then there's the plains that you saw before. There are like gaps where the trees are, where the trees are more scarce and where there's other clearings. On one of these clearings that's into a plain, you see a valley that kind of leads down towards the base of the mountain, and that's where the glow is coming from, but you can't see there yet. You can just see that now you know where the glow is exactly coming from.
All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna, I mean, unless I feel like it's been too long. I mean, I don't know how much of a judge of time I am, but if I feel like I'm running low on morph juice, I'm going to stop and demorph and remorph. But otherwise, I'm going to keep going.
If you wanted to be safe, I would say it's probably getting to the time. I think you said a 45-minute rule at one point for yourself last session.
Hour and a half.
Oh, that was it. It's an hour and a half. You get to about the hour 15 mark-ish.
I definitely go ahead and like look for a tree, top of a tree, like where there's nothing at, and go ahead and just land on that shit and on a branch that I think is heavy or thick enough to support Zach.
Roll me a perception check real quick.
Totally. It's a 24.
You find the perfect fucking branch. But before you see that, you see that there's like this outcropping on this mountain. And as you're like descending, you see the sticks and the brush and the leaves that all make up the nest. And sleeping in this nest is a humongous, gigantic, biggest flying creature that you have ever seen that has wings in real life. Nestled up with a long, sharp beak laying over its folded wings that are kind of in front of it. And you see that it has like a clutch of eggs underneath its wings and a huge horn that shoots up the back. It looks like the pterodons, but way bigger.
Cool. How big?
A house stands as tall as like a house.
It's sleeping?
It's sleeping.
Oh, good. Owls are very quiet. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah. Why do you do this to me?
See what you'll do.
You know I can't resist. Yeah, I'm gonna fly down there and land right behind him. Austin's like, you idiot.
Oh, yeah, give me a stealth roll.
I mean, I'll give you a stealth. That's not a problem. It's gonna be the demorphing sounds that are the problem.
Yeah.
Dirty 20. I'm stealthy as fuck, boy.
Yeah, you swoop in silent as a air tiger. What are they called?
Fart.
Flying tigers?
Air tiger.
Tiger of the night?
Air tiger's definitely it. Yeah.
Air tiger!
Couldn't be anything else. It's just air tiger. Gonna land. It's got a big old nest.
Big old nest.
Any of these nest sticks, are they like logs that are like hollow?
Not that big. Like he has some big sticks in here, but no like nothing like thick log. Just long sticks.
Okay. I'm going to hide all the way up underneath as best I can. And we'll start to demorph. Slowly.
Give me a concentration check to try to control this morph.
Sitting.
You slowly start to demorph. That takes away your disadvantage for the stealth check.
16.
It's a 9.
So it doesn't hear me.
Yeah, it doesn't even stir as you get halfway through this demorph.
Nothing I can do. I'm already hidden as well as I can. Time to be an idiot. Let's go.
Here you go. Stealth as Zach.
Zach stealth. I'll take a 24. 24 is all right.
24 is all right.
Love that for me. Yes. Enjoy your 6, idiot.
You touching it?
Yeah. Yeah. Just the bareliest. Just enough.
Since you're touching it, it's another stealth check.
All right. This is 16.
10. You touch and you feel the tingle in your finger. You hear a call, a roar in the distance, and this huge flying creature stirs. It raises its head, it looks out in the distance, and it lets out its own into the air, and its own screech into the air, and then wrestles back down, lays its head down, and you finish your recording process.
How close is one of them eggs?
You're at the back of the bird.
Yeah. Right, where the butt is, where the eggs come out, so...
But it has the clutch of its eggs and its wings above it, and its head on top of its wings. Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to have to go get them eggs. No, I'm not touching them eggs.
He's hungry. You are getting hungry.
Zach hasn't eaten.
Yeah.
Making an omelet, buddy.
I'll say you do think about those eggs, but, you know.
I do. I'm thinking about them. I think about Colonel Sanders, and I start to cry. So I'm going to turn back into an owl now.
Roll a stealth check as Zach.
I'm gonna roll so many stealth checks, y'all. Lib.
You hate to see him that low, don't you?
I do. It's morphin' time.
Yep, and I'll say you finish your morph, but as you take off, one more stealth check as the owl.
As the owl. Nat 20.
I'm not even gonna make a roll.
It gets more asleep.
Yeah, he's snoring. Yeah, you head back off into the distance towards the glow. After about 30 more minutes, Zach, you see at the bottom of this declining hill, this declining valley hill that leads into the base of this mountain, buildings with lights. And as you're kind of flying closer and closer, you see the inhabitants of these buildings are these lopsided crabs. And they seem to be like scuttling around the settlement. Their heads are huge, and there's all kinds of eyes all over the top of the head, and one of the claws is just a huge big claw, and you got another little baby claw on the other side, and they just scuttle around. And they seem to be piddling.
Zach is still just calling out for his friends.
Call out, you get nothing back.
You said there's buildings? How tall are they?
Not very tall. One story. As you like get closer now, and with the crit 20, you see that they're buildings made from like wood. They do have like lights coming out of them that like they're a blue glow hue, like electrical they seem, but the buildings are made of natural materials. This little settlement is kind of set up against the base of the mountain, and there's like a waterfall that flows down and has like a little pond at the bottom.
Little pond. Damn. Colonel Sanders would have loved that. I'm just gonna fucking swoop on down and land on the top of whatever is the tallest structure.
In the valley, there's scattered trees, and there is one that'll sit a little bit higher you could go into if you wanted.
I do, because I want to like try to scope the place a little bit before I decide what to do next. I'm gonna try to listen to conversations, or if there's any conversation happening. Read lips. I do have the linguist feat, so
you don't even have to roll a perception check. You can hear these sounds that are coming out of their mouths. They just sound like little chitters. You can't understand them or anything. They seem to like, as they're communicating back, as you watch them as well, the mouth sounds that they make, they don't seem like that they're communicating with each other doing that. It's just sounds that they're making. They're also like clacking their claws together. Some of them like carry things back and forth, what looks to be like gathered foraged plants and berries. There's some fish that they have like hanging from like different lines.
Are any of the lines on a roof?
No, they're all sitting kind of like on the ground.
Are these like flat roofs, or are they pitched?
They're pretty flat.
I want to look for where there is some food, like berries or fish that look like they're not guarded very well.
So, yeah, these things do not seem to be guarding their food at all. And it seems like there's community places for their food to be set up. So, like, the foragers bring all of the stuff near the near the pond and the waterfall, and that's where like the fish lines are set up and everything as well.
I'm gonna. Thought speech doesn't sound like it comes from a specific direction. You can't tell where it's coming from. So I'm going to pick one and just thought speak at it. Hello?
What stands out different about this crab-looking creature is where they're all like this orangish reddish color. This one has like 3 spots on the back of it, and it stops, like kind of looks around. Hello? Is someone there? And you see all of the other crab creatures around it kind of look to him.
There is someone here. Can you focus your conversation just back to me?
Yes. A little privacy.
Well, I don't want anybody thinking you're crazy. Are you? What's your name?
My name is Graffin. I'm sorry, I do not recognize your thought speak patterns.
No, I'm new in town. My name.
Zach, are you here? Are you friendly?
I want to be, as long as you are also friendly.
Are you working with the nest?
I don't know what that is, so no.
May I ask to see you?
I mean, you can understand why I don't want that to happen.
I mean you no harm.
Okay. Well, like, I am a great and powerful sorcerer, so
Roll a deception check.
don't piss me off. Totally will. Shit, it's only 16.
15.
Nice. So I win.
Yes, a sorcerer. I know exactly what that is.
Zach just kind of thinks for a minute, and then he's like, so you don't know of my people, the Jedi?
No, I am afraid that I have not heard of them.
Okay, well, we're chill. We're chill.
You're cold.
Okay, we're friendly. That's what I mean. Okay, look, I'm gonna land in front of you.
You're flying. You see him look to the air.
No, not currently. Not yet. You'll see. And I'm just gonna land my little owl body. I'm gonna swoop down and just land in front of him.
Oh.
Give him a good 10 feet or so.
He backs up as you kind of stand down. And all of the other ones kind of like back up too and just like look at you, kind of frozen.
So now it'll be a thought speak group. Thought speak to everyone who can see me, I guess. I'm Zach of the Jedi, and I'm friendly. And I'm just gonna see what happens.
There's like silence as they all watch you. And then about 5 seconds. Welcome, Zach of the Jedi.
Sick. I start demorphing.
Oh, what is going on with you? Are you... What's happening? He is Nask! There's other ones that start to...
I still don't know what a Nesk is, and I'm not one of them, but this isn't even my real body, so give me a second. And then I finish the demorph.
Some of the crab people scatter, but some of the more interested ones do kind of stay and kind of believe you. Graffin is definitely like staying to see what's up. He's already talked to you. More stay around, interested than don't.
Yeah, so I'm now a human boy. How tall are these crab mans?
They look at you like kind of eye level. So they're pretty big crab people.
Have you seen any others like me?
No, you are the first of your kind. I have never even seen a creature besides the nest change their shape like you do.
Damn. Okay. Second question. You guys got any food? I'm really hungry.
Yes. What do you eat? Are you a creature eater?
Sometimes, but like,
We have
whatever.
some fish.
Yeah, I can eat those. Do you cook them, or is it raw?
What is cook?
Got it. You got anything that's not creatures?
We have a few berries.
I like berries. Berries are good.
Yes, they are. Get the Jedi some berries.
I mean, I can get them myself. You don't have to bring them or anything.
No,
That's
you
cool.
are a guest.
That's kind. I don't want you to feel like you gotta wait on me or anything.
No, we are simply being polite, feeding a friend.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you shake hands or like fist bump or?
What is a hand? I will shake it.
How about a fist bump? He says, looking at their giant claws.
What is a fist?
You just touch the end of your claw right here.
Oh.
And he like puts a fist out.
He does his little claw.
His little one?
Yeah.
And he goes, pop, and he taps it and he goes, all right, we're friends now. That's how Jedi signify their friends.
I am a friend of a Jedi, he says to everyone.
Heck yeah, you are. All right. Wow. We're getting an announcement. I will follow them over to the community berry platter, the berry charcuterie, and try to get my fill. Do they have a fire here or heat or anything?
Actually, no, they don't have fires. They don't have fires.
They don't.
Mm-mm.
Do they have heat?
You don't know.
Okay. I'll ask Groffin. Do you guys, do you have any heat? Do you ever heat your food?
Heat.
Use fire?
Like the sun? Like the stars?
Yeah, but like hotter than that. Like it needs to, basically the flesh is not good to our system when we digest it without charring it first. So it needs to be charred some. It's weird, I guess, but like that's just how it works.
Yes, we have some tools that can help with this. And he kind of gestures to a building.
Bring me a lightsaber. Let's go.
Now he brings you in here and you see that like outside it's like wood and leaves are kind of like making up the roof, but once you get inside there seems to be like a panel with like buttons on it, and you step in here and you do feel like a slight temperature change as you come into this room, and there's just like different devices kind of spread out on like counters. One of them he kind of goes up to and uses his claw, presses something on it, and you see it start to glow a red color. This will heat.
Does it look like a stove? Like
a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go back out to the community charcuterie board and grab a fish that looks like it would feed one person. And do you have a knife or cutting implements or maybe a plate?
He clacks his claws in front of you.
That checks out. You don't have like a handheld thing for like finer work or anything?
He clacks his little claw.
Facts. Okay. You have a sharp stick?
He like points to there's a multi-tool right there.
A multi-tool. Cool. I'll check that out. What's on the multi-tool? Is it a Swiss Army knife? What is it?
Roll me a technology check.
Oh, I'm so good with that. Oh man, I've got computers, not technology. All right. 11.
You fiddle with it and you see like quickly like a laser just puts a hole in the roof, and he says, no, like this. And he kind of switches some knobs and he kind of shows you, and this thing can kind of cut, and it has like different settings that bring out physical objects, like it would be a screwdriver, except like the shape's different or something, like a Swiss Army knife, but it seems like it has mechanical parts inside it that kind of bring out different tools.
So Zach has watched a considerable amount of Food Network with his family. He's seen a person on TV clean a fish. Zach has never cleaned a fish, but like he understands that you're supposed to do this. You got to get the guts out of it or you'll die. You got to get the scales off of it or it'll be gross. Is there anything that looks like it could help perform this task?
This tool definitely could do that.
Okay.
You can
it's
use
got
it.
some parts on it. So he starts to just jab a flathead screwdriver into the stomach of this thing or whatever, you know what I mean? To try to cut it open and like discard the waste and scrape all the scales off and all that shit.
Graffin will say, let me help you a little bit, and he'll assist you in your survival check.
Okay, this is a survival check. Got it. 15 then, because I had help.
Yep. You get it gutted, filleted, scaled, start to heat it up, and it's starting to smell good.
Yeah, good. I'm going to eat the shit out of that. I might make another one.
You seem very hungry. Would you like another?
Honestly, yeah, I'm hungrier than I thought. I'm gonna grab one more if I can.
Yes, and he runs back out. A couple seconds later, you hear this little feet come back in as he brings another fish and helps you fillet it and cook it. And he says, yes, us Marcora are always accepting of new beings, since we are immigrants ourselves. We hope that the evil nest do not come along and wipe us out. And he looks at you intensely. Dylan and Savannah. You both soar through the sky. Dinosaurs behind you.
Return to where the Andalites are, I think, is what Savannah's gonna do. And if it looks chill, demorph.
Given the circumstances, it definitely doesn't seem chill. You think you're 65 million years in the past, I think. But you don't see anything immediately around the Andalites.
Okay, cool. Yeah, she'll go back with them and start demorphing.
Yeah, Dylan also tried to find a safe way to break off from the pteranodons and make sure that they keep going while she can loop back.
Yeah, eventually you kind of swoop closer to the mountains, into the trees. You do see a titanosaur. Its neck is just kind of looks at this flock of pterodons fly past it, and it just takes a huge bite of these leaves on one of these trees. But yeah, eventually you circle back around, lose them, and can kind of find out back where Savannah, Matea, and Aximili are.
And Kamren?
Kamren's flying behind her. Kamren will land and start to demorph. That was crazy.
Dylan just lands. She doesn't demorph. She's just sitting there, pteranodon, and every now and then she'll clack clack.
I feel like every time that because that's not a little clack clack. That's I don't know if you've ever heard an owl's beak clack. That's fucking loud as shit. Imagining it tenfold. That's like taking two massive pieces of bamboo and just dunk, dunk against each other. That's terrifying. I think Savannah's just flinching away from it every time it happens. Ugh. Okay.
If she does see that, she'll start to demorph. But she'll be like, "It's so cool though."
As you start to demorph, Dylan, you do see looking out over this cliff, the sun is starting to dip lower and lower behind the horizon as it sets.
Aximili and I were discussing making a shelter for the night before we found you guys and had the whole experience with the Deinonychus and everything.
It's a good idea.
All right.
Yeah, tell Zach to come out of his hiding spot and we'll get started.
Yeah, where is he?
Not with us.
Oh shit.
But there's 3 of us. So wouldn't that mean that 3 of you got whatever, I don't know, the dinosaurs came to the future, so...
Kamren, I've been letting him think that that's what happened because it's easier than trying to make him understand we went backwards.
That is true. It is easier to travel into the future than it is into the past.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. I just didn't want to deal with the headache.
Dylan, hang on. Dylan, don't.
You simply travel into the future every second of every...
Dylan, I promise you don't want this. We've been through it. It's interesting. It is extremely interesting, but you will be here for a little bit.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So I shouldn't start rabbit holing about how as you're traveling into the future, you're really making it the present, and you can never truly get there to the future. You can't actually travel to the future because you just make it become your present. That's what I shouldn't rabbit hole down into. I'm so sorry. No, Max, please don't. Please, Max.
You are correct.
No, already walking away from the 2 of you and morphing. She's walking away and morphing. Go on.
And as Aximili treads off, he says, "That is true, Dylan. You can't go into your own future, but you can go into someone else's." And then Savannah's walked away.
I think she's just going to keep morphing and then just be like, by all means, do not let me stop you.
Oh, well, it is fascinating. Aximili, we need to know about the Sario Rip, not about your time travel theories. A Sario Rip is an anomaly that would not ever happen. It is... And he starts to think, it has happened, Aximili. Where do you think we are? They are theoretical. No one has ever... It does not matter what they are. We are here. They are proven. I must think about this. And he walks off to his cell.
Ballooning up, legitimately ballooning horrifically. Like her limbs start to swell, her shoulders, her torso, her legs. And then her back just kind of like with a like keeps crimping up into like these sort of folded skin flaps that start to harden as she falls onto her front legs. And then as she continues to grow, her spine starts to lengthen and just like sort of snakes out into this long like whip-like tail that just starts bulking up at the base of it. And then the two massive like hammer balls at the end of it pop up, like swell up, and then the spikes start coming out along her rib cage, and she just like fully like keeps growing into this massive beast as her whole back starts to harden up.
Kamren just like looks and steps back a little bit as you start to grow, and he sees what you're turning into. Let's see if you can control this.
Yeah, let's do that.
So you make a check, it makes a save.
Ooh.
As you first get into this Ankylosaurus's mind, you want to eat. That's it. It just wants to go chew on some plants or something. Likes to eat a lot. It's still in the back of your head the whole time is the want to eat, but you can control this mind enough.
Cool. I also want to eat. I, Alex, also want to eat.
Austin also.
I, Jenna, also want to eat.
So I think what Savannah is this huge beast. It's this second of like just tilting her head, shuffling, like getting used to like the bulk, because she's been like an elephant before and a rhino before. But the shift in that is that every sort of large herbivore tank that she's morphed before is all forward motion, and this thing is all sideways back motion because its weapon's on the opposite end of the body. So I think she just has like a little moment of adjusting, and then she's going to like kind of find a little bit of an open space where they can start building, and she's going to like find a nearby tree that like in her best estimation is cuttable by Andalite tail, and she's just gonna like swing back her tail and then right at the base of it.
Give me a strength or an attack, either one.
Hell yeah.
I think Ankylosauruses do double damage to structures.
Do I hit the tree?
You hit the tree. It made a sound.
Oh, that must mean there's someone in the forest. She's gonna do another one.
Another proverb? Or
Yeah, yes. This is now Proverb Park. Welcome.
you get
Yeah.
the biggest tree and it falls really hard.
Someone real big must be in the forest.
Yeah. Paul Bunyan. Matea, as you knock down these trees, starts moving over with her saw end and cutting off some of the branches, and then Aximili kind of slices those down. Some of them into kindling, some of them into just smaller sticks to where you guys can pile them on.
And Dylan is going to morph Pork Bajir. And she's gonna go up and start, trying to strip like sheets of bark and big wide leaves. Start shingling the roof as we go.
And Kamren stays human, and he'll like, as everybody's doing like knocking stuff down, cutting it up, he's kind of gathering, getting ready for a fire. He'll actually look over to Savannah. Fire, good or bad, when the past comes to the future?
Kamren, there's no way to know. We're going to be the first creatures wielding fire in all of history soon.
Kamren's eyes go wide. And he gets down and he starts to like rub a stick onto another stick, trying to start a fire. And a few minutes later, you see smoke start to rise as you knock down another tree, and he's like, ah! this kindling catches on fire and he like lifts it up. Dylan!
Do the castaway thing. Do the castaway thing.
I have fire! I have fire. Is this what he does?
This close enough.
I have fire! I have fire!
Well, no, okay, no. All right, now you're getting a little, no.
Oh, man has created fire.
Okay, we'll say you did it. Good job, buddy.
Yeah. The wind blows and his little flame on his kindling goes out.
She sees that. She's gonna toss him down like a stack of moss.
What? He catches it. What's this?
Use that with your sticks. It'll help.
All right, I'll give it a shot. I guess man make fire, Mother Nature taketh away. He goes back to trying to make a new fire. And he'll have advantage because he has moss from Dylan now. It's a slow process. We'll just say the firewood gets done before the fire starts. Aximili kind of, as like the sky is starting to darken some now. Everybody roll perceptions real quick as Aximili is kind of just staring off this cliff again. So you both have advantage because other people are watching as well. The sun is setting. The night sky is, first of all, beautiful. More stars than you've ever seen your whole life are littering the sky. And as the sun goes down, just kind of off to the side of the sun now, further than it was when you first seen it, is the glow. And now that it's in the night sky, you can kind of see that there is a tail that's starting to form at the end of this light. And if you guys want to give intelligence checks.
Yeah, I do.
You both know that this is an asteroid, a comet, towards a meteor or something, and it's shooting. Dylan, with your natural 20, you know two things. Just seeing the light is, you can't really tell which way it's going, but because of this tail that's coming off of it, you know that it's getting closer to the sun, and that's why the tail is starting to come off. That means its trajectory is heading towards the sun and in turn towards Earth. And Aximili is also like watching out into the distance. You also can kind of surmise whatever Jenna can surmise about this comet in the sky and where you all are.
Yeah. Religion check. Hey guys, I don't think that's a good thing. Were there like a lot of meteors at this time? Like a lot of them, specifically like, you know, right about now?
Like in Earth history?
Yeah.
There were.
That one's pretty big though.
It will be okay.
Okay.
It is not in trajectory to hit the Earth. It should be slow enough that it will shoot behind Earth's orbit.
Okay.
However, I am starting to regain some of my thought processes. And while I still stand firmly that time travel is not possible, at least not harnessable, we are spinning faster than the Earth normally is. And also the North and the South Pole, and like there's quotations around this, like he's using human gestures so you guys can understand him, are not where they are when we were in Ocean Grove.
Ooh, I hate that.
Yes.
So what you're saying is that of the theories that we were working on earlier, we've narrowed it down to genuinely time travel, or the one that I'm still semi-convinced of, which is I've died in the Kandrona thing, and this is just kind of the end synopsis running through my brain, or you've died, and this is the end synopsis running through your brain.
Yes. This is a problem we are still trying to figure out. If anyone has any ways to weigh in any insight. We have already both felt pain, so we say. One of his stalk eyes turns to Savannah.
And you don't know about dinosaurs, so you don't believe that this could be in your brain.
Exactly. So unless this is some Yeerk, what is the word I'm looking for? Fuckery. Unless this is some Yeerk fuckery, yes, I would be convinced that I am actually here. The other option is a Sario rip, Aximili. Tell them. These Sario rips are improbable chances of them happening. This is... Everything does add up, though.
Aximili, I am a creature that's been extinct on our planet for millions of years. And she's kind of like swooshing like her tail into like the little bit of firelight to like make her point of like, look at me. This is already relatively improbable. We might as well learn about the Sario rip.
Very well. As like Kamren has this fire started, he says, "Man, I'm starting to get hungry. It'd be good to have a meal while we heard this story, but whatever." And he sits down and throws something into the fire.
Dylan tosses some bark at him.
What? Is this like past bark that you can eat?
She jumps down as a Hork-Bajir. She's like, oh, right, I was listening to the... You said hungry, and then my stomach growled, and I was thinking how good the bark looked, and I just... And she's like got like a little bit of bark hanging out of her little beak. And she's like, I wanted to share it. Sorry. Yeah.
No,
Sorry.
No, I appreciate it, and I'm never one to turn down anything that's given to me. And he...
Oh, Kamren, no. Oh, your teeth. Oh, God.
Breaks part of the bark off, tries to chew it.
You are gonna not enjoy that later, my guy.
That wasn't good. It tasted like dirt and I don't know what I think eczema feels like in your mouth.
Oh, okay, that's enough.
So it tastes exactly like when you made matcha that one time?
Yeah, look, that was... They didn't tell you... I didn't know you kept the plaster in the closet. I thought it was flour. I'm sorry. I've apologized.
She's just gonna go like off into the distance, and I'm looking for like specific ferns. And I'm looking for their like new growth. But I'm gonna smell them and like rub them between my little Hork-Bajir fingers and everything first to make sure that I'm getting the correct ones.
Yeah, you find what you're looking for. As you search, you find these just sprouting fern things.
They're called fiddleheads.
Yeah, there they are, fiddleheads, just like you remember them in the textbooks or internet.
And eating them in real life.
Oh, they're still here.
Yeah, dude, we still have ferns.
I thought this was a special fern that ate you or something.
No. So she's gonna thread the little spirals onto sticks and sort of make like, it looks like kebabs with spirals so that she can stick them over the fire.
Yeah, you get, we'll say, at least one apiece plus enough to make two more.
I think Savannah just wants to do one last, like maybe while Dylan's getting the ferns, do like a circulation of the camp to leave like, and like sweeping her tail. So she's leaving a trail and a scent of large, don't fuck with me beast all the way around their camp before she like rejoins them and then starts demorphing.
You do that, and as you get back to the fire and finish your demorph, Aximili says, a Sario rip is a tear, theoretically is a tear that is created in space-time. The theory is it opens a wormhole, and if what humans call tachyon particles can take over enough, they can move your body through this wormhole into other times. The theories say that this is the only true way to be able to travel into the past. As we have seen, though, that there is the Elemist that has some control over what seems to be time. But other than that, this is all that we have been able to theorize. That is essentially what I know about Sario Rips. If we talk about it a little bit more, maybe more would come to me, but I wasn't really paying attention during the lecture on Sario Rips.
Why not?
Roll an insight check.
Okay.
No reason in particular.
Can I also roll insight on that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No reason at all?
I may have been talking to a female to see if she would like to spar after the session, but
Spar.
No, Dylan, it was strictly for practice.
Yeah, practice.
He like side eyes Matea and looks away real quick, like up into the sky.
Savannah's fully sitting with her like elbows on her knees, hands covering her face, like just like trying to play it off like she's just like holding the bridge of her nose, but clearly struggling immensely right now.
Anyways, back to the Sario Rip. Apparently the explosion ripped the space-time fabrics, and that's what sent us here.
So I suppose that the female wouldn't have told you how we could maybe stitch that back up.
Prince Savannah, this is serious.
I know.
She did not tell me. Theoretically, if you could close the Sario Rip in the same way that you opened it, with a precise and big enough explosion.
She is just going to flip her view to Matea in this moment, an explosives expert.
I know nothing of Sario Rips.
No, the explosion?
Yes. The explosion that happened with the Kandrona was huge. We would need a lab, technology, and the right materials to be able to craft an explosion of that magnitude. And that seems to be our problem. Theoretically, we could get back, but actually, we have no materials. Matea chimes back in. The power that Craig had, he seemed to have tried to contain everything that he could, but that explosion would have been equivalent to an atomic bomb, nuclear explosion.
So, did he level all of Ocean Grove?
I did not see the outcome. If Craig could not have contained that explosion, then yes.
So even if we made it back, we might not be going back to anything.
Yes. That's what it would seem. Everything would be gone. You do not know that, Aximili. I know better than you. That is true.
Dylan, as she's checking these fiddlehead ferns, her head pops around to Kamren and then pops around to Savannah when Matea says this is true. Y'all hearing this?
Yeah. Blah, 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 wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey stuff. I don't.
She's gonna direct thought speak to Kamren and Savannah. Are they getting along better?
Savannah just kind of tries to be super under the radar about it, just like shrugs.
Kamren nods. Seems like it, he says out loud, and they both like look at him.
Savannah also turns to Kamren like,
What? Looks back at the Andalites.
Dylan is going to start demorphing since these fiddleheads are almost done. But before she does so, she's going to say, Kamren, you're an idiot.
All right. He leans back, just puts his feet up.
so with no plan on how to get back and potentially nothing to go back to, I guess we just work on surviving here and finding Zach if we can.
Yes, that is our only option, it seems. I just want to say that, reiterate, that I do not believe that this is time travel. Let me try to explain it in a way that humans may understand.
Oh yeah, really dumb it down for us.
We'll be gracious forever.
Do you understand the laws of physics?
No.
Well, some humans have read works by a man named Albert Einstein.
I'm sorry, take it down a little more. I don't understand what reading is.
Ah, I see. I did not mean to insult the intelligence of humans. Only, I do not want to support the arrogance of Andalites anymore, so I apologize. What I mean is that the Andalites have had
We get
much
it. You're
longer.
more intelligent than us. We get it.
Only because
Explain
of
it.
time. Time. It was a joke. Do you understand? Anyways, you humans know it as Einstein's theory of general relativity. General relativity gives us the information that we need to know that you can't go into the past. Therefore, you cannot truly time travel because time is relevant to you. You can't go to the past. However, there's nothing in Einstein's theory that says that you cannot experience the timeline of someone else. This is what the humans call the theory of multiverses.
Okay, so we're in, if I'm understanding correctly, potentially not the past in exact straight fashion, but in a sort of loop or parallel line.
Correct.
That we are
The
experiencing.
parallel line. Parallel, but we are at a different part of the line.
Got it.
But that's just one version of like explaining how we perceive time. What about like string theory? Because if that explosion was big enough to blow a hole in that vibrational frequency, then we just need to get back to that vibrational frequency and repair that hole, right?
Correct. But this what stands even in that reasoning is that this is still a different timeline. We would just need to repair the frequencies to get back to the correct one.
Well, no, I mean, in string theory, if we were to break those strings or damage those strings in a way, blast them apart, we could still be on the same timeline, just through the fabric at a different part in the fold.
I understand your reasoning with it. This would require you to be able to see in another dimension, which could work. Us being able to manipulate that is I would believe would be hard.
Yeah, none of us are Matthew McConaughey.
Savannah was just sitting like back, like kind of leaning on her palms, like watching this go, like just listening to this conversation, and then like watching like Dylan with just kind of like a little bit of a smile on her face right up until she made the Matthew McConaughey thing, and then she just like lost, like she just looks lost now. Like what does that have to do with anything?
I think what Dylan is saying is that it will be all right.
That's not what I'm saying at all, my guy, but I love you.
And like smile with the eyes. I may have been watching HBO Max.
You can just say Max.
You can?
I am Max.
Oh, I can get why that would be a little confusing for you now. Okay.
Yeah, that's Andalite Max.
Yeah. But the streaming service is just called Max.
It has. I've seen HBO. That is what the app says, but I know intuitively that it is HBO. I apologize. I wanted to clarify.
Don't apologize.
Interstellar.
It's confusing.
That was a good one.
It was very good.
Set in almost in all scientific, accurate details. I don't know about the library at the end that he saw, but could be. That's just what a Sario rip is. Now, what are we going to do about it?
Make it through the night, and tomorrow we'll see if we can look for Zach.
Hope he makes it through the night, too.
Hope he's made it at least this far.
Yeah. Dylan's going to hand out the fiddleheads.
Kamren starts to eat his. Pretty good. Better than that bark.
Need some salt.
Is there salt in the... Did you think they left salt here for us? Or did they bring it from their own time?
Who?
Who? What?
The dinosaurs. Think they brought it with them? I heard what he said. I heard what Aximili said. I don't believe it. Dinosaurs came to us.
What do you think is happening here, Kamren?
Yeerk shit, dinosaur shit. They came to us because they couldn't beat us one-on-one. We fucked up their lab.
Why would they? Where are the buildings then? The cars?
I tried that.
Yeah, destroyed.
You think all evidence of humanity is destroyed?
Hey, apparently it happened once before whenever whoever built the pyramids just disappeared off the face of the earth or whatever.
No.
How do you explain where the Mayans came from?
Don't eat the stick.
Oh.
What are you doing?
Sorry.
Aximili, I apologize. I can understand why you felt the need to explain theory of relativity to us.
Well, I did not expect him to get it either way. But that is okay. We have his back. Yeah, and I got yours.
All right. Well then, I can take first watch once we're done with eating dinner.
There's enough of us, so you don't have to do it alone.
It's probably smarter anyways if we take it in shifts of 2.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you guys, but I would prefer if an Andalite was ready to go if something does happen. So maybe we split those up. He looks to Matea and Aximili. We're right here.
Dylan just stares directly at Kamren.
Yeah.
Savannah's going to miss it entirely and be like, I mean, that does make sense because Andalites, I do believe, need less sleep than humans anyways.
Yeah. They're superior.
I can't fault your logic.
That's good. She's starting to sound like him. He nudges Savannah. Here's what we'll do. We'll get ready for you to take the first shift, right, Savannah? Who are you going to take it with? Points to Aximili and Matea.
She's not... Whatever's happening here has gone weird in a way that she cannot comprehend, and she's going to be like, whichever one would like to stay on first shift with me.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take them to go get some more wood for the fire.
I think she's going to look over at the pile of wood that's already there. What?
Yeah. Aximili, Matea, come on. Come with me.
Dylan is just absolutely her eye is twitching as she is staring daggers at Kamren. Like, you ruined my plan and then you do this? What is wrong with you?
He keeps moving and he does like side-eye Dylan as he's like bringing them away. No time like the present.
Yeah, I get that.
For firewood?
Yep. And they walk off. Come on.
Dylan is going to sit down next to the fire and start like fashioning a bag out of a leaf that she's thrown down. So she can collect more of these fiddleheads for later.
I think Savannah's just watching them walk off and just like, I mean, if he had a concussion, he would have morphed out of it. So is this just some sort of repercussion of the time travel that's making him weird?
No, I don't think it's the time travel. I think he's just weird. He's just weird. He doesn't understand any signals, and he's just weird. Honestly, I don't know how he's not an Andalite, but he couldn't be because he's too dumb.
Savannah just kind of like laughs into her hands again and just like leaves, like again, just has her face covered. Like she's just trying to not show you how much she's like kind of laughing at this. At least he's well prepared to eat whatever it is we find here.
That's fair. Including tree bark. That's still... I mean, I did throw it to him. I don't know what I was expecting.
I don't know, but I did just imagine all of the splinters going through his intestinal tract.
Oh, surely he'll morph out of that, right?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I mean, potentially he'll just think that it's a stomach ache from eating the ferns and live with it.
Which could happen if these aren't, you know, exactly the right ferns that I thought they were. Just a heads up.
Savannah's just kind of like looking at hers, like half eaten on the stick, just like kind of observing it with a little bit of distant like curiosity, and then just being like, how sure are you that these are the correct ferns?
I mean, I don't want to be Mr. Satoric or anything.
Please don't.
Yeah, so I won't give you a percentage.
I mean, we have morphing capabilities. We should be okay.
Yeah.
So what happened to you guys when you got here?
We were attacked in the water, and then we got on land, and we were tracked and then attacked on the land. And then you showed up.
In the water, you say? By what?
Yeah. Oh boy, howdy. It was big. Teeth, many of them. Bends and flippers. Long boy.
Like how long?
Like a building.
Long neck?
Not quite. It's not a plesiosaur, that's for sure.
Maybe a mosasaur?
Yeah, maybe.
You know, it is very, you know, I know this isn't good. Like, this isn't good that we're here. There's
but it's
multiple
so cool,
reasons.
right? But like, it's so cool.
It is very cool.
Yeah. It's very cool. Like we just talked about this. How cool it would be. And then here we are.
And it is very cool.
As you all say that, you kind of like look out this cliffside. You just see that Titanosaurus raise its head above the cliff, let out like a blow of air, and then that same fern that you picked from, it reaches over the top of the cliff and just bites that whole bush. It uproots it. The dirt falls as it chews, and then starts to lumber away.
So cool.
Yeah. I saw a baby Ankylosaurus.
No way. Was it so cute?
It was. I mean, there was two with it. I didn't see the second one at first, but they were both incredibly cute.
Oh my god, I love them so much.
Yeah, they're really cool.
We made shoes. They're not good, but we did make them.
Out of what?
Tree bark and vines.
Smart.
Mine were a little sticky.
Probably kept them on pretty well.
Ugh. They were loose too.
Gross.
Yeah, I didn't love the feeling of it, and that's why we're not wearing them anymore.
That's a good call.
Yeah. Plus, of all the people and all the things, Kamren pointed out, we can just morph. We don't have to walk on our feet. We can walk on the feet that are more suited.
That's true, but it doesn't hurt to have shoes for when you are yourself.
Yeah. I think I'm going to try again. I think I'm going to put some of that moss. I think I'm going to like stick it to the sticky part of the bark. So that like my foot isn't in direct contact with the sticky because gross. And then like, you know, make the vine tied a little bit tighter, you know, like cinch it somehow.
It's like an insert almost.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Sounds logical to me.
Yeah.
I did not think to make shoes. There was not much time. There was a lot of running.
Yeah, what all happened when you got here? Like, where did you land, for lack of a better word?
I woke up in the woods. My body was being investigated by a small flock of Comptonegasis. And then I fell out of a tree, which was my own fault, to be fair, but it was unpleasant. And then I found the Ankylosaurus, and then, while there was a lot of trying to get that morph, Aximili showed up, and we had to run for it, and that's when we decided to observe and try to find everybody else. We became birds, and then we found you.
Nice.
You all both hear like coos in the distance. Just noises.
It is very weird being here. It's just, the noisescape is so different.
It is. It really is. And it's like, I don't know if this makes any sense, but like, I didn't realize how loud electricity is.
Yes, it is so loud.
So loud. Like, you can't hear anything, but then you can also hear everything, and that's a little bit spookier.
Yeah, but look at the stars.
Yeah, and Dylan like sort of shifts down to where she's like sort of laying propped up on her elbows looking up at the stars.
It's just wild. You can see everything.
I know, there's so many.
So many more than we can normally see.
And that thing that's really worrying me.
Yeah. Aximili said it was not on a course to hit Earth.
Yeah. He also says we couldn't have time traveled.
We've also been arguing about which one of our deaths this is, so...
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it's mine, clearly. Because it's all the things that I love, just like right here.
Everything?
Oh, good point. My dad would be here.
All right, so now we'll know that if your dad shows up, that it's your death.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it could be mine because I didn't know anything about Sario Rips, so...
Okay, fair. I don't know anything about Sario Rips either. But I could have just mashed a bunch of stuff together and my brain made that word and decided to have a random conversation about potential methods for time travel. Because that happens.
think Savannah's just kind of like looking over at her now, like just with that same, like the same sort of like smile, like when she was talking about time travel earlier with Aximili and Maitea. And she's just like, yeah, that does seem like something now that you would just have a conversation about.
Yep. Back to my death.
Unfortunately, I think that is the most likely.
Yeah. Oh well, it's been a good one. Would have liked to have made it to the dance.
Maybe if you attempt to conjure up the dance in your dying synopsis, you could have the dance as well.
All right, hang on, give me a minute. And she like puts her hands to the sides of her face and she's like, we're at the dance. And she just pops one eye open and looks around.
Roll me perception checks.
What?
Checks? Both of us?
We're at the dance.
So Dylan, yeah, you're just focused. You don't look back at Savannah, and she has like turned her head for just a second. And Savannah, you notice Kamren and Maitea and Aximili they look like they're making their way back, but they've like stopped and like started talking about something. Cameron's pointing. Aximili's like shakes his head. Maitea just rolls her eyes and like looks away, and they're just sitting there talking for a second. But that's what you guys notice. That's what you notice, Savannah. Dylan, you're in your own dance.
Yeah, no, Dylan has closed her eyes again harder and is like, we're at the dance, we're at the dance, we're at the dance. Did it work?
Did you imagine it dinosaur themed?
Oh, every time, yes.
Then yes, we're at the dance.
Nice. And Dylan pops up onto her feet and holds out her hand.
Savannah will kind of like look at her for a second and then...
We're at the dance.
Okay. And she'll take her hand.
And Dylan is going to start like dancing to the sounds around her.
I think Savannah like is just for like a second like doesn't know what's going on and is kind of like awkward, and then she'll kind of like look back at where like they're coming over, but then just be like, do you want to lead or follow?
Hey, I'd follow you. Let's go.
And she'll do it. She's just gonna be dancing with Dylan. She'll just like lead her through like a simple like kind of like waltz step, like when you're first learning how to dance.
And you guys move back and forth and around the fire as you dance. You don't even notice Aximili's confused face, Cameron's smile with his arms crossed, Matea's Andalite eye smile as they all watch you.